Man, my honest opinion, man. Um, I think the coaching carousel in professional sports is a joke. Especially when it comes to the NBA. Looking at with Tom Thibodeau, of course, he led them to the Eastern Conference Finals, something they haven't done in years. But not only that, man, you just go back to like coaches like Mike Brown, um, that won Coach of the Year with Sacramento.
Sacramento. Yeah.
Right. You win Coach of the Year, then you end up getting fired after that. Let's be honest, Sacramento wasn't a team that we was expected to make a strong push in the playoffs or anything like that. But it was an accomplishment for them to make the playoffs. And not only that, man, looking at coaches like Casey back with
Wayne Casey.
Toronto,
Right.
Dwayne Casey. He lost his job. They go to the finals now. They praise the coach they
Nick
had got
Nurse.
after that.
Nick Nurse.
Nick Nurse. They praise Nick Nurse, which yeah, you won the finals. Cool. Hats off to you, whatnot. But they praise him. But the thing was, man, you didn't have to deal with LeBron over there in that conference. And not only that, you had one of the top guys in the NBA that was you had one of the players that was one of the best players in the NBA at that time, man. And can't think his name right now. That's crazy.
So Kawhi.
Um Kawhi Leonard, yeah. You had one of the best players in the league. That you had Kawhi Leonard, which was one of the best players in the NBA at the time. You know, and then right after that, guess what happened? Nick Nurse get fired. You get what I'm saying? And and pretty much, man, the list goes on, man. And I can say the same thing for the NFL as well, man. The coaching carousel when it comes to professional sports, it has become a joke. You get what I'm saying? Because you don't give these coaches enough time to fill their roster, give them the tools they need to be successful. And even when they have
Right.
success, it's not enough. You get what I'm
Exactly.
saying? You have
And I
coaches
think
that make the playoffs, but then the next season now you hear about them getting fired, all because you want to bring in some hot candidate or the next cool face of the league or something like that.
you're absolutely right, man. And I think back in the day, coaches got a little bit more grace. You look at back in the early '90s, you know what I'm saying? You look at a guy like Phil Jackson, with the Bulls. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He had his lumps and bruises with Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? And before they won it, now granted they had to get the right pieces there, but then once they got the right pieces there, we see what the dynasty looked like. You get what I'm saying? Same thing, and I gotta use Phil again in LA, same way. He had to go through his bumps and bruises with Shaq and Kobe. Now, granted, I know a lot of people gonna be like, well, those are generational players and things like that. But the coaching still matters. You can't win a championship without the coach. He got to put you in the
You gotta
right
have a
spot.
coach.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like coaching in the early days, coaches was given that grace. Versus now, I feel like the player empowerment and a lot in the NFL with player empowerment has taken a lot of the power away from the coaches. And I
Right.
think that's one of the biggest problems that we have in professional sports is the players have too much power. Now, granted, I'm all for player empowerment, and when the organizations treat you like shit, absolutely, you got every right. But when you got, in the situation with Tom Thibodeau, man, I just feel like it was wrong, man. And I mean,
Right.
New York fans might not agree with that, but I think it's wrong, though. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.